the issue came to me through a band author named Martin Espada, who was a very good friend of mine. Basically, he emailed me and said, my books have been banned. Zapata's Disciple is actually a book of essays. It is. And it's not, it's not poetry. It's very direct sort of, advocacy, of which, his poetry is also rife with that too. And he basically asked me, well, what are we going to do about it? I said, I don't know. Let me look into it. And I started reading some of the titles of the books that were on there. And of course there is, basically a litany of Chicano literature from the beginnings to the present day. I mean, if you read it, it's almost like if you were to put together a packet and say, this is Chicano studies. I mean, it's all there. The whole canon is there. But in addition to that, I found books like Junot Diaz's Drown, which I'm from suburban New Jersey, okay? And Junot Diaz put together in both of those books for me a place where I could look at Pertamboy, New Jersey, Patterson, New Jersey, places where I spent a great deal of time, and I created a place of literally a literary imagination for myself. I never saw myself in that kind of light before. We have all of these, sort of aha moments with literature, and for me, Juno was that, and with Martin it was the same. With James Baldwin, it was the same. A lot of my prose, when I was learning how to do this stuff, I would look at Jimmy Baldwin and say, okay, well, this is the kind of voice I want. This is the kind of authoritative voice that I want in my writing. So these were, in a sense, my teachers, and they found themselves on a list of subversive literature, right? So how does it affect me as a New Yorker? Well, it affects me as an American writer, and that's the thing that I want for people to understand on a national level. This is a national disgrace because this is American literature that we are throwing out the window. People without a history, a documented history, can be disappeared. Right? We saw that with the Holocaust. We've seen it with virtually every genocide on the planet. The first thing they did was toss their literature in the trash. And if this is what we're going to do in this country, then we must all unite. It doesn't matter what your nationality is. It doesn't matter even if you are part of what we technically like to call marginalized groups. This is all American history, American literature, and it all has to be protected. I heard about it in the midst of planning this thing, co-curating this thing for Perry Thomas at Museo del Barrio. And Perry Thomas was banned in Queens. We didn't have to go to Arizona to find our literature banned. All we had to do was cross the Tri-Borough. So this issue hits home. And the one last point I'll make is that in New York we have a history of needing to teach our kids, wanting to give them something of themselves. And it started with a lady named Pura Berpre, who we've now named an award after at the American Library Association. Right? Pura Berpre's mission was to go into the schools in Harlem, East Harlem, and the Bronx, and to teach kids who were just coming here from Puerto Rico, from the Caribbean, from all over, what their history was, and to bring them literature from their cultures, and to give them a sense of self. And she did that in the first part of the 20th century. She didn't do it in 1960. Okay? So we have a blueprint for this. And it's funny that we are now having to go back to the original documents. We're now having to go back to our own history here in New York to remember what has to be done now in Tucson, Arizona.